In 1957, Morbark was started by its founder, Norval Morey. Norval was one of those rare individuals who always had a keen sense of purpose and direction. If it required hard work, he rolled up his sleeves. If the problem required common sense, he used his. If money was the key to open the door, he always had a little saved, even in the poorest of times. Best known for his accomplishments in business and industry, he was the founder and CEO of Morbark, Inc., headquartered in the central Michigan town of Winn, just a few miles from the farm where he was born in the winter of 1919. With a sixth-grade education, an entrepreneurial spirit, and equal amounts of common sense and elbow grease, Norval founded Morbark in his garage and led it to become one of the largest manufacturing employers in the area, with nearly 500 employees. Today, Morbark is well respected as a manufacturer of wood reduction equipment, serving the sawmill, forestry, biomass energy, recycling, and tree care industries worldwide. Norval was the fourth of 8 children born to Loyal and Hazel Morey on a farm in central Michigan. Growing up in the Great Depression would lay a solid foundation for Norval's life work. Early on, he displayed a dislike for school and other indoor endeavors, but a penchant for outdoor work and free enterprise. "I didn't realize we were poor," he would recall. "We never went without food. We didn't have any money, but as long as everybody else was in the same boat, it didn't seem to make any difference," he would say. Norval, or Nub, as he would become nicknamed, quickly learned that you didn't have to be poor if you didn't want to be. Nub grew up fast, learning how to work, how to make money, and how to save it. Nub's first job away from home came as a result of a deer hunting trip up north in Glenny, Michigan, with his friends. They liked it so much up there that they decided to stay and look for work. They found jobs and spent the winter cutting cedar posts and poles. They worked so hard they were able to earn as much as $3 per day each. Nub proved, at the age of 14, that he could support himself and earn a man's wage. In the spring, it was back to help his father on the farm. As he grew into manhood, Nub gravitated toward forest-related jobs that would eventually take him from coast to coast. First, he hired on with a contractor trimming rights-of-way for power lines. Climbing and cutting in good weather and bad, the job took him throughout the Midwest and East Coast. Then big timber called. Nub's older brother Burnell was in Idaho making good money as a lumberjack and persuaded Nub to join him. They worked together for 2 seasons, felling and bucking virgin timber in Idaho and Northern California. In 1941, the Army called, and after a year of training in the States, Nub was shipped to Italy to join the 88th Infantry Division at Anzio. For the next 18 months, they fought their way foxhole by foxhole, house by house, until they reached Rome about the same time the war in Europe was ending. Sadly, Norval's younger brother Milford was killed in action. Norval and his brother Burnell came home from the war to Winn, Michigan, turned to what they knew, and hired on with a logger cutting cedar posts and poles. After a week of production and only $45 to show for it, the brothers decided to go after the market on their own. They began that very afternoon to look for a piece of cedar swamp to buy. They located a 40-acre parcel that looked good, pooled their savings, and bought it for $1,200. Then they went to the hardware store and bought a Swede saw, an axe, and a dinner bucket and went to work. Nub never worked for anyone else again. That success paved the way for the Morey Brothers sawmill, which the brothers operated for over a decade. During the sawmill years, Nub married Phyllis Barrett, and the couple set up house in his grandfather's cabin and started a family. Connie was their first child, born in 1946. Betty arrived in 1948, and a son, Lon, was born in 1950. Norval's first machine, the wood debarker, was built in a little blacksmith shop in Winn. They would work on the machine, take it out and peel wood, bring it back, tear it apart, and rebuild it again. The first machine sold in March of 1958 for $3,950. Thus, the Morbark Debarker Company was formed and the business grew rapidly. The Morbark Debarker Company became Morbark Industries, and the product line expanded to include the Morbark Chip Pack, a stationary sawmill chipper and screen combination, which was honored as Michigan Product of the Year. By the late 1960s, the company was manufacturing a full line of sawmill-related equipment. In the early 1970s, Morbark introduced the first portable whole tree chipper, the Total Chip Harvester, in response partially to the widespread destruction caused by Dutch elm disease. Also a Michigan Product of the Year award winner, the chip harvester was capable of chipping a complete tree, limbs and all, into dimensional wood chips in just a matter of seconds. The company expanded once again. Norval became a nationally recognized advocate of concepts such as environmental thinning, forest management, and biomass energy. In a meeting with then California Governor and future President Ronald Reagan, Nub outlined his ideas. A short time later, Mr. Reagan featured Nub and his thoughts on managed forestry in one of his syndicated radio programs. 1980 saw the introduction of the Eager Beaver, the first disc-style brush chipper, which rapidly took over a majority of the market share among municipalities, utilities, and tree service contractors. In 1986, the company responded to customer needs with the introduction of the Morbark Waste Recycler, a machine which could quickly dispose of huge stumps and land clearing debris, creating a product which could be used as a mulch and ground cover. Following the success of the Waste Recycler, the company moved rapidly into the recycling and solid waste industries with the 1990 introduction of the Morbark Industrial Tub Grinder, which in short order began to dominate the growing market for waste wood grinding equipment. Also in the 90s, Morbark introduced the combination flail chip harvester, an impressive machine which removes the bark and simultaneously chips whole trees. This allowed previously unmerchantable timber to be used as clean pulp chips for the paper industry rather than go to waste. Norval then invented and patented the Easy-style drum chipper, a concept which had a major impact on both hand-fed and whole tree chippers, and are the mainstay of today's biomass energy boom. Norval quietly and without great fanfare or recognition contributed many times to the local community. Even though he lacked a formal education himself, Norval understood the importance of a solid basic education and believed it was the responsibility of the community to provide one for its children. Beginning in the fall of 1996, through the Morey Foundation, he chartered the Morey Charter School, emphasizing basic skills and vocational education. The school opened its doors to the first group of K-6 students in August of 1997 and continues to this day. Norval Morey passed on in October of 1997, leaving a legacy which includes Morbark Inc., the Morey Foundation, and a lasting imprint on everyone he met, the belief that with goals and passionate work toward them, practically anything can be accomplished.